Welcome to the Rooted Warriors, the podcast where the bonds of sisterhood are not just celebrated, but explored through laughter, tears, and everything in between. Join me and my two dearest friends as we dive deep into the roots of our own friendships, sharing stories and challenges. Whether you're looking for inspiration, advice, or just a good story, we're here to bring a piece of our sisterhood right into your life.
Well, hello, my little smile seekers. Welcome back to another episode of Rooted Warriors. It's Kat, and I'm thrilled to have you join us on this beautiful journey to uncover the hidden gems of happiness. Today, we're diving into some unique and natural ways to bring more joy into our lives. We'll explore everything, including using powerful practices that can uplift our spirits. What makes each of us happy can be as unique as our fingerprints, so we'll celebrate these diverse paths to delight.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Well, hello, my beautiful sister.
It's been a minute.
It has been long.
Been a minute. It's been a little journey for us.
Holy last 2 weeks, girls.
Wow. We need a lot of prayer. No.
We need a lot of happiness.
Yeah, right?
We do need a lot of happiness.
Hence our topic.
Yeah.
How's it going? Anything new?
Well, I just had my 25th anniversary.
Holy cow. Is that why you were gone on Monday?
Yeah. So we started off, we went to Phoenix and stayed for a few days there.
How fun.
And we came back, checked in, and then we went to Half Moon Bay for a couple days.
Which one did you like better?
They're both so different. It's like polar opposite, but I love both. I think I probably enjoyed Half Moon Bay a little bit better, only because I read a whole book. And I sat by the fire and I got to be kind of chilly because it's been so hot. So I like that. And I feel like Bob and I were very, very connected on both of these trips, but even more so in Half Moon Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that let's bring back marriages that
Yes.
last 25 and 50 years.
Seriously.
Congratulations.
Normalize.
I think that it is such an amazing thing to be able to say that you've accomplished that and still thriving inside of your marriage.
It's still growing.
It's
Yeah.
so beautiful. I'm so proud
So
of
what's
you.
your
Thank you.
secret?
Well, first of all, you have to pick the right mate,
Word.
right? So, I mean, I do believe in soulmates, obviously, and I can't imagine a better mate for me than Bob.
Mhm.
He definitely completes me. So I think that whoever you're with needs to complete you and make you a better person. You know, I'm half the person I am without Bob.
I love that.
So yeah, I mean, and it's just you're constantly growing and figuring things out, and you accept that no one is perfect. And you're okay with that, you
Mhm.
know, because them on their least perfect day is still perfectly suited for you.
Aw.
My beautiful sister over there.
I want to keep talking about Mo. Well, I've had quite the week, you know. It's not always being easy, or it's not always being a mom, you
Yeah.
know. Well, my boy ended up going to go stay with his dad, and you know, none of us want to enter that empty nest thing too early, but he's 16 and he wants to be with his dad right now and take that road. I mean, all I can say is I'll be here when you're ready. And other than that, I've got to keep growing and finding joy in every day. You know, it's just the way it goes.
I'm going to say that nothing in this world replaces a mother.
Mm. I hope he comes back to me to say that.
He will come back.
He will.
They always come back.
They always
No.
come back. You hear that out there? I'm just kidding.
So for me, super exciting. We did a little Santa Barbara trip that was really neat, but even more exciting is that I went and kidnapped my granddaughter and I had her for about 8 days. And Ashley, my beautiful daughter-in-law, always allows me to do that. And she's got a new baby, so there's 3 of them, and it gets a little overwhelming. So I got to have the privilege of potty training my granddaughter.
Did it
I
work?
love it.
It did.
Good
It did.
job.
It did with a song. So then everybody in my house,
No, 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 no.
Now
no.
you got to sing the
Now
song.
you're gonna
Now
sing
you gotta
the
sing the
song.
song.
everybody in my house was singing the Gigi goes pee pee on the potty. Gigi goes pee pee on the potty. We all cheer because she goes pee pee. Gigi goes pee pee on the potty.
And it worked.
I love it.
Everybody take notes.
Oh my goodness. I might use this for myself.
Do you have trouble making it to the bathroom?
No, but when I
just
do one
joking
day,
with you.
Mo goes pee pee on the potty.
This is so great.
No, it is great because I do things in music all the time. So, when Gigi was really small, she liked Cocomelon, and then my son was like, "She can't watch that. It's the devil's," and I was like, "Oh,
Well, he's
but
not wrong.
I know, but I didn't know that.
Right.
But she was so obsessed with Cocomelon. It was like she was like, right. So we did this thing where we're like. How did it go? No more Cocomelon for Gigi. But it was this whole song that we sang and sang over and over and over.
Did she fall for it?
She did.
This is so
She
great.
did. So there was no
It
better
hurt.
way for me to potty train her than to give her her own song.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So
That's the way to use
I'm
your
gonna
gift.
stay for like 7 days straight. We're all like, Gigi goes pee pee on the potty. Yeah. In the beginning, she did not find humor in it, but I want to say by the
wondered.
end, she was like, dancing along with it. Like,
I
Gigi,
love
that's
it.
right. I go pee pee on the potty.
Was she
So,
resistant at first? Was she like, "Don't say my name. Don't talk to me
don't
about
talk to me if I have to
potty."
sit on this toilet. Yeah. So she has her own room at my house. So I put that little potty in the room and then just like made her sit on it. And I turned on like monster trucks on the TV and I was like, sit until you pee.
And then you can get up.
Yeah. And then come tell me.
A few nights ago, I showed up at Gina's house because we were, I was having drama in my life. So I had to, show up at 11 o'clock at night at Gina's.
Right.
So when I was there, Gigi was doing the whole potty thing.
That's right.
So Gina and I are in deep conversation in Gigi's room. Like we totally took over her room.
Yes.
And Gigi starts to get in the corner to take a dump. And Gina's like, what's she doing over there? I'm like, she's clearly taking a dump. And she's like, okay, Gigi, get on the potty, get on the potty. Okay. So Gigi sits on the pot and we're going to give her a little privacy. So I go downstairs to get something and Maddie's down there with her boyfriend. And I'm like, oh, well, Gigi's taking a dump. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Gallops don't talk about dumps and they don't talk about farting.
That's so funny. Your
It's like a
family
real
didn't
thing.
either. My
Yeah.
family didn't either.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
no.
like mad farters.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that, is what my Nana said. We
Fun
don't
story.
Nana,
Yeah.
so we don't do that.
When Monica and Bob first got married, she would tell me how they would have these fart hoedowns. And I'm like, what?
A fart competition?
Yes. Yes.
Wait, did you say hoedown? They were dancing, not popping.
It's
Keep
true
the
though.
beat, Bob.
Yeah.
So that's the secret of 25 years of marriage, people. Right
away.
away. Fart with your
Fart.
partner.
Fart hoedowns.
Fart hoedowns.
So my mother-in-law was married for 50 something years and they never farted in front of each other.
But they also fought in the closet.
Factoid.
Yes.
They were
Yeah.
quiet about a lot of things.
Yeah.
True. That is so freaking true.
Yeah.
So if you fight in the closet, you must not
You
fart
must
either.
not fart in front of each other. Yeah.
That's funny.
Is this going to be a farting episode?
Yeah.
Andy, do you fart in front of my brother?
Never, not once in 12 years.
Is
Isn't
that true?
funny? I swear. And now he'll go, I've heard you in the bathroom. I'm like, hey, what happens in the bathroom is none of your business. But outside of that, no,
Aw.
literally never. And if you ask my old best friend, we were best friends for almost 20 years, she'll tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
Never once heard me. Now, she, on the other hand, was very musical, like you and Bob.
I love that. You call it music. That's not as much music as Bob and I can produce. We
True.
can't sing
True.
or play an instrument.
True.
Bob
That's
can't
funny.
even dance.
He can't?
No,
Aw.
absolutely no rhythm there.
Adam will be super sweet. He'll be like, "Oh, look at my beautiful little honey last night tooting in her sleep." I'm like,
Oh, yeah, he might say that too.
horrified. Yeah.
Greg
That's so
might
funny.
claim that too.
Yeah.
But you know what? If I wasn't there and heard it, or then
That's
it's
so
whatever.
relaxed when I'm sleeping though.
I don't know
It
what
all
you're
just
talking
comes
about.
out.
Yeah.
Video or it didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Record it next
Yeah,
time.
catch it.
Smarty pants. So happiness.
Yeah.
I loved your intro. It got me really excited. I got happy.
Smiles a lot.
Smiles a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
All
Little smile seeker.
smile seekers. Um, so I think happiness is important. And when we picked this topic, I kind of, Googled a little fun facts about happiness. And one of the things that came up was there's a difference between happiness and joy.
Good point.
Yes. And so it said happiness was fleeting, right? It's just momentary. So things that can make us happy would be like, buying a new car, getting a new outfit, or, seeing a friend for a moment. It says that it's just like a small portions where joy is embedded. It's deep, um, like comes from within,
Not so
you know.
superficial.
Yeah.
Mhm.
More purposeful.
Deep.
Deep. Very
Deep.
deep.
Tea. I like that. That's
Yeah.
nice. So joy is something maybe we should be striving for versus,
Something fleeting.
right, something a little less like sticks when it comes to that.
Yeah. And I mean, I think you still need happiness
Oh, yeah.
because those are the little things that
Yeah.
keep you going for the deeper joy,
We'll
right?
call it incentive.
Incentive
Yeah.
I'll take that
Yeah.
program.
So smiling, that's a good thing, right?
Absolutely. It's got to have a million different benefits, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fake it
smiling.
till you make it, right? Even if you don't feel happy,
Well, I
know?
mean, isn't that it's really difficult to be angry if you're smiling
It's
and you're
true.
making yourself smile. There's a school that one time I almost put my boys in. They said that they make their kids skip from class to class. You're not allowed to walk or run, but you have to skip. I'm sorry, you can walk, but you can't run. You can skip. So everybody's skipping around. But they said the reason why they do it is psychologically, you can't have a bad attitude when you're skipping.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I can't skip, so.
Well,
I can't
so
do-
she's like
I also can't chew
perpetual
gum
bad
and try
attitude.
it.
That's funny. So that's what they do. That's
So
what
when we have a bad attitude, should we just start like skipping?
yeah, just skip, skip, and
Like,
just try to have a bad.
you're gonna have husbands that are gonna hear this, and their wife's gonna be like having one of those moments, be like, "Honey, I think that you should start skipping right
Skipping.
now."
I know, right? Or they'll look outside and they're like skipping around the backyard.
Or they say that the action of jumping up and down, up and down, up and down releases oxytocin,
Is
which
that
is
right?
our
Ah.
happiness hormone.
I have
Yeah,
so much I
see?
want to add to that, but we're not that kind of podcast.
It's just up and down.
Makes sense.
Yeah, right. That's funny. Well, there's a lot of things you can do, even naturally, to help you boost happiness. If you had to go on the little natural trail that we always go on here.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Sunshine.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was one of them, right? And
sunshine.
like, what does sunshine bring? There's all kinds of things.
Vitamin D.
Yeah. And you said serotonin
Mm-hmm.
and regulates your sleep pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Improves your skin. I mean, what makes you happier than good skin, right?
Nothing.
And I think that like happiness is a state of mind.
Yeah, I
State
think that's a
being.
quote.
All of our emotions are like we could flip it in a minute. It's the state of mind you're in, right?
Right.
It just takes, it takes some putting aside maybe the day and deciding I'm going to be happy. This is how my day is going to go.
It's about choosing the happiness.
Yeah.
This week we were in Half Moon Bay, and I was having like a sad time because I've been going through it personally,
Mhm.
with some things, and Bob was doing his thing, climbing his little mountain over there, and I was just looking out at the ocean, and I was feeling sorry for myself. I was thinking
Mhm.
about things that were more negative, and you have to choose gratitude.
Mhm.
So I found myself saying, hey, you need to count your blessings. Instead of focusing on the negative, you need to take a step back and think about what you do have instead of what you don't have.
What you're lacking.
Yes. And
Right.
how there's somebody out there that would love to have half of what you have. And I'm not talking about material things, I'm talking about the blessings of life.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And so gratitude helps to increase happiness. So after I got done with that little meditation and some time talking with God and figuring some stuff out,
Which was important, right?
it was important.
Yeah.
And after that, I really felt like my happiness was increased. I could go back to the room and feel happy in that moment with Bob rather than feeling sorry for myself.
Mm.
And so gratitude is super important for happiness.
I think I brought up The Untethered Soul one time when we were
You
talking about
did.
books. It's one of the things that he talks about. Michael Singer is his name, but those emotions are a choice. I
Mhm.
mean, even in something as serious as, divorce or death or something like that, we
Mhm.
choose what emotion to let show all the time. You know what I mean? Like you can we were talking earlier about how we're allowed to feel those feelings, but we weren't meant to live in it.
In those feelings.
Right. It's super important that next we choose another emotion, which is
Right.
not sorrow, or grief, but to choose something positive
That's
that
right.
helps you move forward. But it's all a choice on that and how quickly you do it.
Yeah. And enjoying even the moment of the sorrow. Take a moment to understand it and then move past it.
Isn't it pretty in itself, though?
It is.
Sometimes
It
it's
is.
beautiful in itself.
And it's good to know that things meant so much to you that you're so deeply affected by the loss of it.
Validates maybe those things.
It does. Um, so another thing is happiness is health, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I feel like this is kind of your guys' area, um, in talking about how people live longer
Hmm.
with happiness.
That's true. I mean, what about you, Gina? What do you think? Like, it kind of goes back to that whole, the whole Mediterranean lifestyle and the whole,
I feel like the choice, and I really hate to bring my dad into it, but every day we're met with choices, right? Every day. Like for me, Monday, Tuesday, shit hitting the fan.
Right.
Not just one business, but both business. And then not just that. We had that,
yeah.
you know? And it's like I'm met with how do I respond? What does my response look like? Right? I can choose to make my body very unwell, right? We can, for me, it's eating, 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 right? It's what makes me feel better. But I'm pretty sure it's science that we can make ourselves so unwell by our thoughts and how we deal with things. So, like talking, having a toolbox and choosing every day, this is how I'm going to respond. I'm a reactive person. So I'm
Right.
always fire and then think about it, right? Um if we think about like what is your first emotion,
Anger.
mine is firing back. It's like death, shoot. Like and then like, oh, shoot, man. No.
Sorry, he didn't mean to kill you.
My bad, right? And so it's being mindful in that moment because I am at the age where I can sit, think, process, and then be like, I could choose this, but instead, I choose this. Maybe it's harder to be happy right now. And maybe it's harder to find the joy in this right now, just like your moment at the beach.
Yeah.
It's so comforting to be in that. I want to feel bad about myself. I want to feel pitiful. I
Well, you
want
know
to
that
be in
emotion.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very familiar. I want to be in this spot. It's harder to be like, this feels comfortable for me, but instead, I'm going to do something uncomfortable and I choose to be happy. I choose to look in the light. I choose to choose gratitude,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we can all go into that dark place. We
Yeah.
all come to a crossroads, right? Like for my dad, losing his partner and the one person he knew his whole life, just about 50, just shy of 50 years. You have a choice, right? What do you do? And, you know, and he kind of made that choice. He makes that choice daily,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right? Not just one huge choice. It's daily to choose to be this certain way. My aunt, his sister, she went through this huge weight loss journey and she literally just left today.
Oh,
for Europe
Wow.
for a single
Aunt Patty.
a singles vacation.
Shout
She
out.
chose happiness.
She
Yes,
chose
ma'am.
happy. It took her 60 years to be like, F this.
I deserve it.
I choose happy.
Yeah.
Right? It's a choice, right?
Yeah.
And then we choose it every single day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like how you said something about how it affects our bodies and our health and things like that. You know, even when they're speaking about cancer, and even in Western medicine, they talk a lot about keeping your minds positive, and in the holistic area, they talk a lot about how our bodies were created to heal themselves. And if you just picture that type of stuff and you picture that positivity and that healing and that growth and that happiness and you just stay on that track, your body can do all kinds of amazing things, but we just allow ourselves to sink back into what's familiar. And the only reason why we do that is because we understand that emotion because it's been exposed, we've been exposed to it too many times.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we find
Absolutely.
comfort there.
Yeah.
And I think that words, our self-talk matters. It manifests inside of our body, right? That negativity. And my mom, weird, and you would know, she would itch this part of her back all the time. And she would be like, I swear I was stabbed in my back in my past life, right? Or she would say that her biggest fear was suffocating, right? Or drowning, not being able to breathe. My mother died of pulmonary fibrosis. She drowned. She didn't have enough air in her body. Where her itch was is where our lungs are. And then she vocalized, never
she was
wanting
gonna die.
Yeah, whether you believe
Yeah.
it or not, you're putting the energy out there in a
Yeah.
negative way.
Right. So I think that our thoughts can absolutely hurt our bodies.
Determine whether it
Yeah.
thrives.
Our mind
Create
controls everything.
Yeah.
sickness. Yeah. So it's like we need to change that inner monologue.
Normalize it. Normalize choosing the other emotion.
Normalize happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that even teenagers, they try not to be happy? Like they'll try to hide a smile or they don't want to laugh and be around the other. Like, you know what I mean? Like outwardly, it shows like weakness.
Well,
or
I was
something,
made
quote
fun of for my
unquote.
laugh growing up because I have a crazy
Aw.
Mo laugh, right? So
Is
my
it
whole
the
life.
snort?
No,
Love
just
it.
my overall laugh.
I
And I
love
used to
your
laugh
laugh.
a lot because I was a nervous laugher as a kid. So I used to be made fun of for it. So I used to be more protective of my laugh.
Right.
And now I just don't give a shit. It's like, everything anymore. I don't care.
Right. But
As an adult, I had a lot of people tell me that they love my laugh. So, it's about perspective.
it's about your tribe.
Yeah, exactly. Who you surround
Mhm.
yourself with,
It is.
which is part of happiness. Part of happiness is
Oh,
who you
you're
hang
right.
out with.
You're right.
If you're
Your
around the
community.
right people who also project happiness, you are going to be happy.
Or if they're perpetually negative, because you've met those people before, you can't
Oh.
say a dang thing to them without them just kind of twisting it into something else. And you're like, whoa,
It's a
wait a minute.
nightmare.
Experience that for a year and a half.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
That's funny.
It says laughter has long been considered one of the best natural remedies for a variety of physical and mental ailments. This is where the phrase laughter is the best medicine comes from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Right?
I have so many memories from my childhood of like my mom laughing so hard that she would pee.
I think that's
We have
very
a-
typical of
I
women, isn't
love
it?
that, yes, but it was that kind of laughter that your belly ached when you were
That's
all
good
done, or you
laughter,
just
though.
cried and cried and
That's
cried.
solid laughing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like hearing a baby laugh for the first time,
Oh my
and a
God.
toddler when they just mean it. It's just that real,
Yeah.
genuine laugh. There's nothing better than that.
Sometimes I'll just TikTok baby laughters.
Really?
But
Because
yeah, so
seriously.
oh my God, when they like crack up laughing.
It's the best.
Have you seen the
sound.
quintuplets that end up laughing and they just make each other laugh? The other one goes, ah, the other one goes, ah. They all laugh together.
It
Oh
sounds
my
like
gosh.
us on
quintuplet. How many is that?
I don't, Quinn. I don't know. Is it
Is
five?
that seven?
Is that 4 or
See,
5?
that's-
Is it quadruplets?
I don't know.
Oh, that's
Somebody
a lot.
correct me, please.
Quintuplet. It just
Quadruplets.
sounds like
I
a
don't- hold
lot.
on.
It just sounds like a lot. That's all.
That's hilarious. They say that no medicine can cure what happiness cannot. No medicine cures what happiness cannot.
So happiness can cure everything.
Yep. And no medicine can fix it for you if happiness can't.
It makes
If
sense.
laughter can't make it and you can't stay positive and make it, you know what I mean? Then
Well, I
medicine.
mean, I think that when people are going through chemo and other things like that, that they have to keep that positive mindset, like you had talked about earlier. And if they don't, it's not going to be good.
No.
And, it still may not come out what you want.
Yeah, right. It might not come out the way you want it to, but
Right.
right. So quintuplets are a set of offspring of 5.
5?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Can you imagine 5 screaming babies?
No.
I don't find my happiness there.
So that's not happy for me.
It's happy for some, not for
Sure.
me.
As long as I can send
I'm
them
just gonna
back.
pick the cutest one.
I had one screaming baby today because I watched the baby today, and Gina came over and because she was going to take me for coffee, and the baby was like screaming, man. I couldn't take that kid back to Katie fast enough.
no.
I said, oh,
You're like,
here it
that's
goes.
it.
I said, this is the best part of being a grandma. And take this
Joy.
kid's butt back.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Return to sender.
Return to sender. That's hilarious.
Address
Excuse
unknown.
me. Can I
Yeah.
please have a refund?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Time's
Man.
up.
Time is up.
Alrighty. So another thing we can do naturally is wild swimming.
I thought you were going to say wild sex.
Well, hey, you brought that
yes.
up and down earlier.
That totally does it for me. Yes.
Well, wild swimming could end up being that.
Well, the way that I swim, probably not.
Or lack thereof.
The non-swimmer.
I can't even imagine having sex in water deeper than 2 foot.
That's hilarious. Moses. She's like, I'm drowning.
I just see
This
it
is
like,
not sexy.
this is not sexy. This is not happiness for anyone involved. This
That
is
is, well,
this is
no,
bad.
you can take Bob wild swimming, which is you can go in the shallow end of the river or lake or the ocean. That's
What
what
is
wild,
wild swimming?
swimming in wild water in live in like ocean or river or lakes instead of pools.
Oh, okay.
Live, yeah,
Okay.
wild swimming.
Mhm.
I like
know. I
that.
thought that, and then cloud watching, and I was like, okay, well. I don't know who has time to lay on their backs and just look at the clouds.
Remember
anymore.
doing that as a kid, though?
Yeah.
Yes, and it was one of
Yeah.
the
I would get kind of dizzy.
There's a scientific word for people who see things in clouds. And
Oh,
some,
I see stuff in clouds.
some people don't.
What?
Really?
Who are these
Yes.
people?
Yeah. No, I'll be looking up at the
They
sky.
have
I'm
no
like,
imagination.
oh my God, that looks like a flock of geese running into a dinosaur's mouth.
Early the
So
dark
extreme.
ages.
So extreme. I'm like, that looks like a Greek god. Mine are always sexy men. I don't know why. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing for me.
But they're always animals.
Yeah.
Pareidolia?
Yeah, something. I
Something
knew it
like
was
that,
something.
right?
Yeah.
That sounds like something bad.
No, ooh, that does. It's an ailment.
I feel like that's really bad.
It's
I don't
probably
want
a
that.
pronunciation, but poorly on my part.
I don't want that. Whatever that is, I don't
we'll,
want it.
we'll stay away from that. No, I was kidding.
How are you today? I have a bit of pareidolia.
Just a little. I saw some weird thing in the clouds when I was coming in. It scared
Really
me.
does.
Scared me.
Like maybe they could like psychoanalyze us for what we see in the clouds.
Right? It's like an ink blot
It's what-
test.
Yeah, they put up the thing. What is this? Yeah.
Andy says that's your trauma, Mo. You always see older men in the sky.
I see
I see
George
Greek and Italian. I see George Clooney.
I see George Clooney's dad.
I thought you were going to say something else. I don't know. This is not the way the podcast was supposed to go.
Well, that's
Happy.
a lot of
I feel super
innuendos.
happy,
Yeah,
though.
I feel very happy
feel
too.
super happy
Is
with
it
that.
warm in here?
I'm sweating all of a sudden.
Okay,
my
so
gosh.
another thing that can make you happy is your pets and your animals. And I will just say, Barton, I love you.
Oh, your doodle.
He's the best thing in the world. I was so happy to come home to him today.
Did he miss you?
He loves his mama.
Is he a double doodle?
He is not a double doodle,
But she loves him
but I
anyway.
love him anyways. He's so perfect.
He is.
He's
love
special.
him.
He's very
He is-
protective of you.
Oh, Yes, for sure. But Jeremiah is still his person, even though he's clearly abandoned this dog. He's such a bad dog daddy.
He doesn't get it.
He doesn't care.
Maybe
He
he's
sees,
coming back.
he sees Jeremiah like everyone else could go to hell and back. He could care less. He's over there snuggling with him and kissing him all over.
You're like, wait a minute.
You're my dog the rest
Hey,
of the
wait a
time.
minute.
Bad daddy.
He's a bad dog,
But
daddy.
no, I felt so happy knowing I was coming home to Bart and that he was going to love me unconditionally.
Aw. See, that's animals do that. They give you joy,
They
like
do.
on a regular. Do you get that from animals? Do you love animals like that? Do they bring you joy, or do they bring you more? What the heck is your problem? That's your brother.
Well, my double doodle right now
Oh,
is digging holes.
ooh. So you rue the day on that one at the moment.
Charlotte is a perfect little angel with a bad haircut.
That's always Charlotte.
Kind of sounds like me.
I love Charlotte. She's the happiest dog I've ever seen.
She is. And then Dennis is a human.
He knows things.
He does. He knows things. He's my coffee shop dog.
Mascot.
Yeah, he is. And he's so strange.
He's the wandering Frenchie.
Yeah, he's
Instead
the
of wandering
wandering
fox.
Frenchie. Do they bring me great joy?
No, they don't. Huh?
They do.
You're not
because
overwhelmed with
I
it?
love them. But here's the thing is we didn't have a lot of animals growing up. So I didn't have a relationship with a dog. Charlotte's my first dog that was like mine. And then I don't know where I was, but there was a time in my life where I think it was my mom's dog that I realized that was like a soul, a person inside of there. They're people. Like I didn't know because I'd never like been like that with an animal. But now I look at my 3 little people at home and I'm like, if I tell Sadie, why are you digging holes? She's like, not the smartest. And then Dennis is a tattletale.
He points at her and he's like, she did it.
He talks.
Wasn't me.
I'm pretty sure he talks. He talks with his facial expressions and his eyes. And he's very arrogant. So
He's Adam's
Well,
dog.
they say that.
he's very arrogant.
We'll call it confidence.
Yes, confidence, of course. But yeah,
Overflowing.
I've always been a cat person.
Really?
Ew.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say this. Your brother, same thing, says the same thing to me. We never had animals in a way where I had a chance to get super attached.
Yeah.
He has a memory maybe of a dog that you guys had that the next day you woke up and it was gone or something.
The runaway.
Okay, he has no
Yeah.
idea what happened to
Run
it. He was
away
like,
my foot.
yeah,
He
right.
kept jumping the fence.
They just let it
Yeah, and
Dad
then
threw it over the fence probably.
Yeah.
Right.
no, we
So-
just didn't pick him back up. He kept
Yeah.
getting like arrested by the police all the time. Like your runaway dog is
He's a
insane.
felon.
Yeah.
So your brother is a cat person, or at least was when I met him as well, which is weird. You would never think that of him, but he would prefer cats. I think because they're more aloof and independent.
They are. They
Yeah.
are aloof, and they're very like they love you or they don't.
They
Right?
stay out of your
they
way
have such
usually.
a bad attitude, or they have a really good attitude.
I'm
They're
just not a cat fan
No.
I love
at all.
cats. I love
I've had a
cats.
cat that I really did like, but overall, I am not a cat fan.
Did
I
you
would
see
have a
us with the
cattery.
ducks?
What's that now?
Did you see Gina and I with the ducks?
Oh my God, they're insane.
We're just
These
animal
two
people
are just animal
across
people.
the board,
Yeah.
really.
So you were saying about how, it was the first time that you realized that animals have souls. So
Mhm.
if I was Buddhist, I would definitely believe in reincarnation
Mhm.
and that people come back as animals sometimes because our dog Teddy is the little Bichon poodle.
So
And
cute.
A nurse.
So
he's
cute.
nurse Teddy. So when my mother-in-law had her stroke, she was at our house for a few months and we took care of her. And Teddy never left her side.
Aww.
And as a matter of fact, when she passed, he was in there. And then after they came and got her, he laid on her bed for 2 days. And when we brought Charlotte home to the house, Teddy watches over her like a little nursemaid.
he's a guardian.
Yeah. So I tell Bob all the time that I think that he is a medic from World War I.
He's
Mhm.
Nana from Peter Pan.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
that's
go.
so great.
But
Yeah.
you can tell that there's something very special.
He has
about
something
him.
special.
He does. Because when I watched him with Charlotte, he was just,
It's very
just
protective.
very, very, and knew that it was a
He's
baby and
paternal.
knew that it
He
was
just knows.
new. Yeah.
And so I will say, like, I mean, I love Bart, and Bart's like, my little guy, but there's something about Teddy that
Mhm.
I swear he has a human soul. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird because as a Christian, I don't believe in reincarnation,
Right.
but for whatever reason, Teddy's human. I don't know how to put it, but everything about him says human to me. And when you look in his eyes, he looks like a human.
Mhm.
We have to figure there's some animals out there that are pretty intuitive, intelligent compared to others.
There's something going on there.
Yeah,
That dog is special for sure. And he's not my dog. He's clearly Bob's
Well, maybe
dog.
he's
not
an
my dog.
angel. Maybe you have a little angel dog.
He's something. He's
Yeah.
something. And all my kids will say it too.
Oh, well, I love this.
I love
So,
that too.
what about your music? What happy music do you guys think of? Do you have happy music when you need a lift? What do you listen to?
Marky Mark and the Funky
What?
Bunch.
Shout out Wahlberg.
New Kids on the Block.
Really?
Yeah, that's my happy music.
Is it?
Yeah. All 90s type music like that and 80s.
Oh, I love 90s and 80s music
Yeah.
too, but
Not like grunge rock, but that kind of poppy music.
worship music makes me happy.
I was going to say, I don't know if there's a genre that I would like, this is going to make me happy. I listen to a lot of like Lauren Daigle, which is Christian worship music. That tends to make me feel good.
Right.
I don't know about happy music.
Well, it's hard because if you pick a genre, it's sort of like not all of that genre is going to be
Mhm.
happy, right? So it's sort of like you can't just say you love country music because it makes you happy.
Right.
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it does
Country
make
music
me happy.
and it makes me sad.
Exactly. And then you hear the sad songs and you're like, oh,
That's
he
even
lost
sadder.
his bowling
Yeah.
game and then kicked his dog when he got home because his
Mm.
girlfriend broke up with him.
But so true.
So sad. But
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, right.
It's a tough one for me.
I looked up some happy music and it came up. We were listening to some happy music before we started this. But it came up with Uptown Funk and Shake It Off, Walking on Sunshine, Buy Me a Boat.
Never heard that song.
Never heard-
Buy me a
No?
boat.
It's that song that talks about like it
Sing
can't bring
it.
you happiness. I'm trying to remember the lyrics to it, but it says something like, money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a boat.
Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy me a boat. It can buy me a truck to pull it. It can
Oh.
And that's close enough. Like that's close.
Close enough for me.
Yeah.
That can bring all the happiness.
All right, that's a wrap, Rooted Warriors. I hope today's episode brought you a little extra sunshine into your life. Remember, happiness is a birthright, so make sure you claim it, nurture it, and let it overflow in each and everything you do. Keep finding joy even in the small things. Stay connected to what truly matters to you and always spread good energy wherever you go. This is Mighty Mo reminding you to be happy and feel blessed. Be blessed.